sunrise in the afternoon after you. So you come on through when you see me, baby. Tell me what you need. Is it energy or tell me what you need? Is it memories or tell me what you need?
Bro, we not getting no Krispy Kreme promotion.
With that negative attitude, we're not gonna get Krispy Kreme.
Oh my God, Krispy Kreme, come sponsor us. I'm telling you, you can get. Hey, Simply is back. Hey, bro, I'm still trying to get this Simply sponsored. We can get Krispy Kreme as well. Hey, whoever else want to get sponsored, they can get sponsored, bro. Or sponsor us, whatever it is.
We gotta start doing better, gang, because our society nowadays is very health oriented, and we just talking about sugary ass slippy lemonades and fucking donuts. You need to get some broccoli on this bitch.
Simply's a seltzer though, so it kind of works.
It's not no seltzer. Don't disrespect it like that.
That shit's sugary, gang.
Man.
Anyways, first of all, drink at your own risk. Okay, don't drink too many. You can put things out there. Okay, you just gonna eat a whole donut on the show. All right, cool. Today we have a couple special guests. We have my boy Steve Nyse, and also his business partner Kalamari. Thank you guys. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Shitty, the sound effects ain't working, but okay. I'll just have to do that in editing.
You are really bad at your job.
Hey man,
you are terrible.
You have like 2
jobs.
I'll be having the shit ready, but the shit don't be working, man. Riverside.
You have 2 jobs on the podcast.
Needs y'all to be better.
Also, if you didn't know, you're watching Excuse the Cap podcast.
Gang.
What was you about to say, teacher?
No, I'm about to say, if he wants me to take over the sound effects, I feel like I would do it better. I mean, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? But
all right, just make sure you gotta send all the invites too, and set up the studio and everything.
That shit probably not even that hard. Man. You trying to make it sound complicated.
I feel like
bro,
it's
he wants to hold on to his 2 jobs.
What'd you say, Steve?
I just said I feel like it's a lot on your plate, Zer0. Trying to get all of it together.
It's all this added pressure, and then after this is over with, I gotta edit the whole thing.
And then the whole time you got everybody yelling at you to do all the sound effects.
The whole infrastructure, man.
I mean,
this
come
nigga
on,
hands
man.
just be shaking. That's why he be missing the motherfucking views.
Fucking stress.
What they about to say? Okay. Button. But let's dive straight into it. I got some questions. Well, not some questions. I guess I just got a question. Question for this week is, dead or alive, who would you want to collab with on a song or shoot or a whole project?
Nobody. Fuck everybody. No, I'm just playing. If I'm doing my EDM shit, I always said I wanted to work with Sia. I'll do Sia definitely.
Who?
Sia.
The girl that don't show her face.
The girl that don't show her face because her hair is.
Oh shit. Okay.
Wasn't she on Wolves for the life?
Yeah. Okay, I got you. I thought you was gonna say Skrillex, bro.
Hell no, I don't want to work with Skrillex. No offense to Skrillex, I just don't want to work with him. Don't have an interest.
That's really surprising to me.
But if it's hip hop, give me Jid. Work with Jid.
Jid.
Yeah, I like that.
I can see y'all masterminding some shit.
Yeah, on some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Some weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody dead or anybody old as fuck? You gotta get, hey Marcus, hey bro, you gotta do that collab with Smokey Robinson. You gotta make the remix to Gang Bang.
Gang Bang.
Don't do that, bro.
Gang Bang. A dead person.
At least speed it up.
If it's a dead person, it's gonna be Pac. I'm a Pac fan. So Pac over Biggie every day.
Oh man.
Biggie over Pac every day.
Nah, Biggie can't do it.
Bro, you said sexuality is a spectrum, gang. You can't say that.
Who would y'all work with? Dead or alive? Who would y'all work with? Taylor.
Go ahead, Fly. Oh, I'll go. Dead or alive, for my dead, definitely is Biggie. I fuck with Biggie heavy. Sky's the Limit is one of my favorite songs ever. Alive, Tyler the Creator, Saba. Tyler Creator, Saba. Oh wait, I'm bugging. Wait, okay, Dead, Mac Miller. Forgot Mac died. Definitely gotta have Mac. I'm bugging. Mac, Biggie, and then Tyler Creator and Saba. Maybe Drake, but Drake kind of like used up.
Man,
So,
this is a whole list. I thought we were just picking one person.
Oh, my bad.
You know, they just take the questions and run with it, and I just sit here like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
My bad, gang. I'll shut the fuck up.
It's all good. I feel like it makes it harder if you only get one option, like dead or alive. You only
See,
get to
I
pick
try to
one
make
person.
them think, but they never do. They just, like I
Fuck
said, they
you.
just take it, bro.
Mac Miller over everybody. Mac Miller is my pick. Mac Miller is my ultimate pick.
Thanks. I appreciate
Sorry.
it.
Sorry.
Interesting.
What about you?
What
Fly?
about me? I would probably say, if I'm gonna go with just like one person, I'd probably say Michael Jackson, because I would just want to see his creative process. I've seen videos of it, and it's very. He just does stuff on the fly, and it's just so cool to see that. So I would love to see that like in person. And I know, regardless of what the song would be, it would just be a hit anyway. So I would love to do that.
Hey, watching Fly work with Michael Jackson, when they get up on stage together, watch this nigga try to moonwalk, I'ma cry.
Bro, I'm gonna have that down packed before then.
You gonna be up there dancing with Mike? That's what you gonna be on?
Yes, sir.
I feel the game.
That'd be a sight to see. Honestly,
It would.
I would pay for that.
I don't
Absolutely.
think I've ever seen Fly dance. Like, period.
Cause he don't dance, gang. Nigga don't dance.
Y'all don't know that. Y'all don't know that.
shit.
Who you say for alive though?
Okay, for Alive, I just have to go with Usher. That's my dream collab anyway.
You gonna be on stage with some pros. Gonna be tough.
Exactly, bro.
Rise to
Gotta
the
shoot for the
occasion.
stars. Exactly. Steve
Per-
Nice?
Yeah, personally, okay, so Dead, I feel like I would work with Juice World for the
That's a good
simple
one.
fact that he works so fast, and we could make an album in a fucking day, like easily. Just like giving him beats and stuff like that, and just being able to crank out music pretty quickly. Alive, I had a good one. Oh yeah, Dominic Fike. I'm a huge
Ooh,
fan
I
of
like
Dominic
him.
Fike.
Don't
I like
forget
him.
about him.
Nice.
I really like his style and the fact that it's very modern, but it's not mainstream, you know? And I
Mhm.
love kind of the underground feel of his kind of vibe and attraction to like his artist persona. If I had to pick an honorable mention,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
because you got to have honorable mentions every now and again.
The Grammys.
Yeah. So, Frank Ocean would be my honorable mention.
Yeah, I
for
like
Alive.
that one.
I think
like that
that
a
would be
lot.
awesome.
Y'all gonna be working
bad that
together
song
for
will never
years.
come out.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
never come
that's
out.
Song will never come
so
out.
right, dude.
Hey, but then he'll get to work with them forever. Be like,
true.
oh, we still
Yeah.
working on this song
Yeah.
20 years later.
Yeah, right. Right.
Just have like 20 variations of that song, said song, and then you just have a whole project.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Dude, who do you think, like, okay, so you know those songs that Frank put out, what were they? They were like In My Room and a few other singles. Like when he made those, was he like in the mood just to put out music? Because he never puts music out. And not to say like those songs were way better than Blonde or anything, but that's like the music that we got after Blonde. You know what I mean? Like, why those songs?
Yeah, see, for me, I've always compared Frank to Three Stacks. Like, whenever he feels like the energy is there, he'll go in and record. But if the energy's not there, he is out somewhere else just doing something completely different, not even thinking about music. So I feel like at the time, like, he made those records like, oh, well, these are great, so I'm just going to put them out. And then, like, you know, everything after that, you know, kind of just transpired. But I feel like he's if the mood ain't right, he's not going to do nothing. He's not
So
going
it's
to go
almost
into the
like-
studio, try to force some records out.
It's almost like regardless of the song, it's just the feeling, just the vibe. Like whether it's beautiful or not, it's almost just the vibe.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's what I get out of it.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that.
Mr. Calamari, you got some inputs?
If I had to go dead or alive with only one option, I would pick Kanye. For the same reason you said, Fly, just to see the creative process. He also takes a long time to create his albums, so I'd get to work with him for a long time. But he I mean, I think like more than any other artist right now, he's able to grab people's attention. Like with the way that he rolled out Donda. And so basically like he's still killing it in 2021, 2022. So like I'd be able to get to see like a legend do something right now. Cause like other artists that are legendary, like Jay-Z, for example, like if he drops, like almost nobody cares, which is, I mean, that sounds horrible to say, but like he doesn't have the culture like on us in a stronghold like Kanye does. And so I would really want to see it just from a business perspective of like how everything goes down, because I don't really make music. I'm just a manager. So just seeing all of the business side of everything, like how he gets people to collaborate together and how all of that happens, flying people out, meeting up, spending 30 days in an arena doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so this is the energy we own. Cool.
Bro, do you think you'd be able to manage his bipolarness?
I'm not managing any. Oh, if I was his manager?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be fired.
Oh, shit.
But I did date a girl for like 6 or 7 months. She was diagnosed bipolar disorder. So I don't know. Might be able to. And I messed that one up. She didn't mess it up. So
Damn, that's
Yeah.
saying something. Wow.
yeah. So
Hey, it
I don't
happens,
know.
man.
Maybe. But he's also Kanye. Can't nobody control Ye, right?
Mm-mm.
Nobody.
Absolutely not.
You saying that, you know, with the whole Kanye flying people out and stuff, like I honestly would like to like see Drake do a project, because Drake pretty much does the same thing. I remember Majid Jordan, for Nothing Was the Same, they did the interview, and this was like right before they were blowing up with their own stuff. They were just like, yeah, he literally had people like sitting in the studio like sleeping in tents and just helping them write the project. He had like 30 people, or it was something like that. And I was just like, that kind of sounds cool, I'm not gonna lie. But like that would just be interesting to see, just all those minds just coming up with songs. And then like it's just crazy, you come up with a song or something and it gets rejected, and it's like, nah, we're cool. So then you got to go back to the drawing board. Like that would just be an interesting process to see.
There's some beauty in that shit too, because I remember Travis Scott said Butterfly Effect was given to like 3 or 4 other people before he actually got the beat, and then it became a hit. So you never know. Even if shit does get rejected, that don't mean that the idea is bad. Yeah,
Right.
I mean? It just means that that person just wasn't for that person at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
the bad thing with those people that's sleeping in the tents on the floor is that they all on NDAs, and anything they come up with, they can't give to anybody else.
That's true.
So
That's
they're
true.
like, oh,
Yeah.
no, sign this. I don't know how Magic Jordan got out with that, saying that detail. Drake probably called him right after.
Yeah.
He said, keep that under
Probably.
wraps.
Yeah.
That's probably true. But so I wanted to get into pretty much how me and Steve Nyse got together and, you know, became like this creative power duo, I call it. You know.
It's a beautiful,
So
beautiful explanation of it.
So I was a senior in college, and it was over the summer, and I was working on a song, and I only had a verse. I didn't know what else I was going to do with this. I was kind of stuck, and I was actually in a spot. This is like the first time I wanted to quit music. So I was in a spot where I just was like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. I'm about to graduate. You know, I need to start getting serious about life and stuff. And so then my homie, I worked in the library with IT, and my other homie worked as like actually like checking in books or something. My homie Brandon, and he was like, "Hey man, I met this dude. He's a freshman coming in, and he was like, he does music too. He was like, why don't you link with him?" And I'm like, I guess, bro. I mean, like, I really don't work with people. I was just like, cool. So then, met up with my boy. Showed him the song I was working on. And then I believe you showed me some of the other stuff you was working on too, and I was just like, dang, I was like, you got some talent. And so then I think you took the beat home with you or something like that, and then you kind of like, I think you just kind of like did something to it because you were trying to help me write it, and you just like you came up with like, I can't remember if it was the hook or the bridge, and then you did your verse. And I was like, damn, I was like, this is really good. And I was like, you were like, yeah, like, it helped you brainstorm. And I was like, I don't know, bro. I was like, I think you might need to stay on this song.
Yeah.
So then we just kind of like started working from there. And then, and he helped me like, get a new look on the music life and everything. Cause like the energy he brought to it, it pretty much transformed over to me. And I was like, damn, I found like a new love for this. And so then we just like, I don't know what we did, like 4 songs that whole year, I think I want to say.
Yeah, I think, didn't we end up working on like some sort of project for you?
We were working towards a project, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we ever got to finish it just because I was, I dipped off pretty quickly after college.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it was like he helped me, because before then I was having like features, people singing stuff. So then he was helping me get to the point where I was just singing on my own stuff and everything. And then I think we got we got Zay involved and stuff too. And then you helped him do some of the Unpaid Toes project as well. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I flew out and I started working with people out here. And I was just like, man, I just don't like it because they don't, they really don't have the passion. They don't see the vision. And every time I was with Trey, and I didn't have to tell him too much. It was just like, this is kind of where I wanted to go. And he would just mix it like pretty much to the way I wanted. I just tell him, a couple adjustments. So then I ended up building my own studio and stuff. And then I told him, I was like, yo, I pretty much want you to be like my primary engineer. I want to like go back to that, and I just want to work from there. And we just been checking out the songs for like the past year now, getting back to that formula and stuff. And man, this man's talented, man. He sings, he raps, produces, engineers. He runs his own record label now, so he's building his own artistry. I don't even know how many artists you have at this point. I know at least about 4 or 5. But yeah, man, that's a creative genius, man. I know TChill always talking about Zay. He's like, bro, I hope you make it and everything. Steve Nyse is a guy I'm like, bro, I hope you make it because the world needs to see your talents. I swear, man.
Facts.
Man, I appreciate that. Literally, to the depths of my heart, I appreciate that because that means a lot. Music doesn't always feel like it's working out, but you're always putting the work in, putting the time in, and as long as I feel like you're doing that and you're working harder than what other people would be or what they'd want to be working, if you know what I mean, then you're in a good place, but my story for Fly here, whenever we met, same thing. I was in Subway at SIU's campus, just getting some food. I was there for orientation, and I ran into the same buddy that he was talking about. And I had literally just got my laptop very recently, and to start working on music. And whenever we were talking, myself and Fly's friend, he was like, what do you do for hobbies and stuff? And I was like, oh, I work on music, blah, blah, blah. I was awful at the time, let me tell you. Like, I was not very good. But nevertheless, I'm super happy that Fly was able to see that kind of talent and I guess harness it, because it gave me the vision and I guess the hope to be able to create and keep going forward with music. Because I've been doing music, like I've been writing songs and playing guitar and playing piano since I was in like the fourth or fifth grade. So this is something that I've been doing for a long time. This isn't just something that I picked up because it was popular, which I feel like a lot of people do now. Nevertheless, it has been a ride, and we have, been working on a lot of really cool stuff. Lost Flyer and I have. So I'm excited for a lot of it to come out.
Yeah, we got to. I don't know when you can put it out, but we have a feature for Steve Nyse, coming out hopefully by the end of this summer. I beg you for, because I've been wanting to hear it. But yeah, man. I mean, I love showing people his music because he does a lot of the instruments that you hear in the beats and stuff and everything. So not only is he singing or rapping on it, but he's literally creating the music. So I love telling people that, and it blows their mind. They're like, he did all that, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, he literally did it from the ground floor on up. And then it's so funny because not only that, he has a very soulful voice. So when I show people don't know he's white when he's singing. So I love telling people. So the one thing I love telling people, I'm like,
oh, shit.
It's a white guy, right?
Wait, is he?
And they're like, no. There's no way he's a white guy. There's I had one girl that was like, no, there's no way. She was like, show me a picture. She was like, show me a couple pictures. I don't believe this. And I was like, I'm telling you, look. She was like, there's no way. I was like, I'm telling you, man.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah, man. He's just super talented, man. And then so yeah, just tell us about the artistry. Hopefully, we can get Kalamari in on probably talking about the whole the whole thing you're building up right now.
Mm-hmm. By the way, likewise to you, you're very talented as well, and I'm not trying to just do back and forth here, but you are, and I appreciate the I guess business relationship and friendship and brotherhood that we've had together. So I just want to throw that out there. Nevertheless.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot.
You got
I try and be very modest about my when it comes to music.
I
do when it comes to music.
This motherfucker will get on Xbox I'm better than all you niggas. I'm the best. I don't give a fuck.
I do not.
And just start. I'll be like, yo, what the? We weren't even talking about that.
That's not true. I know what you're talking about. But I do have a song called Black Widow, and Over It that dropped, on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. Y'all can go check that out. You always gotta plug yourself. You know what I'm saying? It was mixed and mastered by Steve Nyse as well. So that's the reason why it's getting plugged right now. But it's the best songs that have dropped this year.
Facts.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yes,
Whatever.
sir.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I got to give credit where credit's due. You actually mastered it, so I can't say that I did.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay,
Yeah.
Mixed by Steve Nyse, mastered by me.
Yeah.
I'm getting in my master bag.
Yeah. Dude, you're actually pretty good at mastering. That master on that song is great. The first time I heard it, I was like, damn. Go ahead.
Man, I've been working, man. I've been watching YouTube. YouTube is your best friend, people. Remember that. Whatever you need to learn, whatever skill it is, YouTube it.
It could also be your worst enemy though, because some people be putting out bullshit.
That's true too. That's true. Watch multiple videos. Just don't watch one and be like, yeah, that's it.
Right.
Kind of take what you can from all the YouTube videos. But yeah, go ahead, tell us about the production and everything.
Yeah.
Company.
So just from the ground up, and I mean, Zer0 will be able to speak on this a lot too, because you work a lot in production, and I'm sure, do you work a lot in recording artists too? Or is it just mainly working on beats and stuff like that?
It's mainly working on beats. I mean, I have recording set up, but we usually send it off to somebody else to either mix the vocals in. So.
Gotcha. Understood. So, one thing that I feel like a lot of people don't understand or fully get is the beginning stages of a song. It's a lot of fun working on music, but if you want a good quality product, it takes a lot of effort and almost like a seriousness to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
One of the
Yeah.
biggest things that I feel like people kind of steer away from are good vocal recordings. Good vocal recordings are like the biggest thing ever. Because if you can't get a good vocal
Mm-hmm.
recording, your whole, like everything else after that is pretty much, pardon my language, but
Mm-hmm.
it's fucked, you know? And
Yeah.
that's even down to all the other recordings. So if you're recording drums, like synths, or woodwinds, strings, whatever it seems to be, it has to be perfect whenever you're recording it.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of times where I've been in the studio making a song from scratch with some people, and we'll make it in like an hour, and it just so happens that we get everything perfect. But there's
Mm-hmm.
been so many times where it's been the opposite way, and
Yeah.
it just doesn't turn out well.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's one of the key things for people who are like maybe just like getting in the game, especially production and understanding production and engineering and recording or being a recording engineer and a mixing engineer. You need that from the start, because if you don't have that,
Mm-hmm.
everything else after that is kind of meh. You know, it's going to be pretty average.
Yeah.
You know,
And kind
go
of
ahead.
to piggyback off of that, it's like, so I've been technically, quote unquote, been making music since I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
However, when I went to college, I had to focus on school, and then when I went to grad school, I had to focus on grad school. So like it was a hobby thing, but now I'm in a place where like I'm good in my career, so I can make strides in the music career. One of the biggest issues that I've had starting out is that finding like quality like VSTs, quality, drum packs and stuff like that. People will go on, subreddits and like random websites and get all the free stuff, but the quality is so low. It's already bad instrumentation to begin with. So I think for a new producer, for me, the best thing you can do is go out and just buy some quality VSTs, buy some quality drum kits, so you have good sounds to start with. Like, cause like you said, if you start off with bad sounds, it's already gonna go to shit. It's just not gonna be a great record. You could probably make a good record, but it's not gonna be a great record. So just invest in yourself is like the number one thing I can say. Like even when uh, Lost brought up the whole YouTube thing and learning from YouTube, I agree with that. But I also I'm also like a YouTube junkie, so like I've seen a bunch of bad videos. That's why I wanted to throw that caveat in there. So like just don't go in, watch the first video, see, and say make that the end all be all, because that's not necessarily the case. It's because some people literally put out bullshit because either A, they don't know what they're doing, or B, they're trying to slow you up so they can get ahead. So just make sure you try to find a bunch of quality people, quality instrumentation, and things like that.
And do things with a purpose too. Like if you're looking for a certain sound, do some research on those VSTs that you're about to buy, because
Yeah.
Zero's right. Like you're gonna want those quality type of VSTs that you're working with,
Mm-hmm.
but not every VST that is quality has what you want. So do some research, look it up, and also everybody starts to realize this after a while. But back to the YouTube thing, you can watch as many YouTube videos as you want, you know. The only thing that happens is everybody has a different process.
Yeah.
So you're going to find that once you start to do your own thing, you're going to kind of make your own process along the way. It's great to learn and it's great to study, but just study, look up the things on YouTube that you need to kind of figure out, but study the music that you really love and the sonics of it and the delivery of it and the cadence of the lyrics and stuff like that, just all the way down to the bare bones of the production. So for like Fly and TChill, like when you guys record vocals, like one of the very best things to be conscious of as an artist is knowing how you're sounding in the playback and how you're sounding when you're recording. And that comes down to the distance of the microphone from where you're standing to the tonality of your voice and then to like the cadence and in your delivery. So
Right.
That distance was something he always stressed to me. Always when we first started.
Distance is a
So
big
it's
deal.
something that's just stuck in my brain now.
Yeah, because being too close, you just get a little too boomy, you know. But being too far away, you kind of lose what's going on. Sometimes you want it to be like that. It's just depending on what you want. So if you want a generic kind of recording, you kind of want to be in the sweet spot of the microphone. Nevertheless, if you want something to be boomy, you want to come up on it. If you want it to be far away, like a choir sound, be far away from it. But it's all in the ideas of how you want to accomplish this song. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Bet.
yeah.
And another thing I want to throw in there for all y'all starting out on music production, and y'all get on those blogs and they tell you which DAW is the best DAW. Don't believe that shit, please. I hate that whole argument. Like somebody will say one DAW is the best DAW. Look, they all can do X, Y, Z. They all can make a hit record, and plenty of hit records have been made on all the different DAWs. Just figure out what workflow works best for you. Because I see like so many people saying, all right, you got to get on Reason, Pro Tools, Ableton, FL, yada yada, whatever. Just do what works best for your workflow and your artistry. Because I hate that argument. Like every time I see that argument on a blog, it like drives me up a wall. I'm just like, try test them all out and figure out for yourself. Don't listen to what somebody else says and says that's what you need to do. Like, because that might not be the workflow that you need. It might not have the tools that you need.
Mm-hmm.
But that's always been my thing. So
Also remember, you got to spend money to make money. I got that microphone. Steve Nyse told me you got to level up. You're going to have to upgrade that microphone.
Mm-hmm.
I cried when I bought it, but I did buy it, and it sounds beautiful. I will say that. Less takes, everything when I'm doing it. It was a lot of money, but hey, you know, you got to spend money to make money.
How much is a lot of money?
Like all together, or like just on like a certain
The microphone.
piece
the
of
microphone, bro.
Okay, that microphone is like $750.
Okay. All right.
I got it on discount because where I purchased and Zer0 purchased, they were having their yearly sale, so I got it for like $500.
Okay.
And I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. But that man gave me a list. Those other microphones were like $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't know, I can't make that happen at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's actually, I was asking because, go ahead.
no. I insist.
No, I wasn't gonna say shit important. I was just asking because I need to upgrade my microphone too. That's why I was asking how much. I just want to. I'm trying to get like a ballpark for like, you know what I'm saying, like how much I want to spend type shit. Like if I can get away with 300, if I can get away with 400, whatever. But I'm not going over 1,000. That shit's cooked. I'm sorry.
Hey, Steve Nyse, go ahead and talk to the man. Let him know what they should be looking for with microphones.
So, this microphone I actually just got really recently. This is the WA-47. It's a recreation of the U-47 that Neumann makes. It's one of the most popular microphones of all time for studio recording.
Also, I just want to point out, you notice how he moved the microphone. You didn't hear that at all, right? You didn't hear him move that mic at all.
you got a good point.
So that's just something with sound quality. You know,
Right.
the more you go up, the less stuff that is affected.
Things,
by that,
less things get picked up, the better, shock mount that you get, things like that. Just little things. It even down to like a car driving by. If this shock mount wasn't here, the vibrations are minuscule, but they add up over time, and that could really affect a mix, in detail.
Damn.
But when it comes to a microphone, your best bet is to look between about 700 to 1,000 for an upgrade from like $100 or $200 microphone. That being said, the microphone that Kalamari's on was a $250 mic, and it sounds great. It's a Lawton LA220. It's super nice. I've had it since we were in college. I upgraded because we were all working together, and I wanted a better mic for us to record on. So I got that one. But yeah, I would definitely look in the ballpark of like around $1,000. But catch it on sale if you can, like Fly did, because that's
sure.
where it's at, you know. And his
Yeah.
microphone is sick.
Also look for like models too. Look like for like used models as well. That's not as bad either too.
Right. His microphone is really cool because there's a lot of it has this microphone on it. So like you can choose different microphones with his microphone. There's different emulations
Oh, that's
of
interesting.
things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a plugin that comes with it and has like over. You can buy the full one, and I think it has over like 20 mics. But the one that came with the mic itself has, I think, 8 different mics already.
Mhm. Also, I guess another piece of advice that I would have to say when it comes to choosing a microphone would be whenever you're looking for one, think about the things that you hate about your microphone and listen to demos on YouTube of different microphones that you're looking at and make sure that thing that you hate is not on that microphone. So like I really hate like a really high hiss and like 10,000 or like 10K frequencies, like between like 8 and 10 and up, you know. I just cannot stand that sound. And this is one of the microphones that whenever I was listening to tests did not have that sound in it. So I was like, okay, I'm getting this one, you know. So that's one of the tips that I would have to say.
And you don't even have a filter in front of yours, do you?
I was
No.
literally just about to bring that shit up. I noticed that. I was like, why is there no pop filter?
It's also the technique that you'd want to use if you're not using a pop filter. So if you're not using one, you don't want to look at the mic really. Like if I look away, it's not as solid of a sound as if I look here, but I'm not really looking directly into the eye of the mic, so it's not catching all the S's as hard as it would.
Mhm.
Nevertheless, I have a pop filter. It just looks bad with the podcast.
Well, that makes. I got
Gotcha.
you. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then I don't know if you got really into the recording part of the production, but I do just want to say on record, I've told you before plenty of times, but thank you so much for dealing with my perfectionism, because not only myself, I do like 86 takes of like one little part, but then I have to send that over to Steve Nyse, and he has to deal with that, and he has to edit that, and then hear it, mess with it, and then send it back to me, and still have me say, no, this isn't right. Let me go back at the end, and let me go do 42 more takes.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we do a song. He'll send me rough drafts. I think with Black Widow, I think we had like at least like 30 rough drafts with that. I mean, that's just how a song works. And honestly, I feel like, I mean, some people can get it done. Don't get me wrong. Some people can get it done one take. Some people can get the song done in like 3 back and forths. But I feel like if you really want to, get a song right, to the way you want to, don't be afraid to tell your engineer, like, hey, this little piece right here, I'm noticing this. Can you take it out? Or what is wrong? Like, that was something I learned, especially when I was paying for studio time. Like, hey, I'm noticing this. We got to fix this. And then, don't be afraid. Like, if you're paying somebody to edit your art, like, and you notice something yourself, definitely do not be afraid to tell them, like, hey, you're not doing this right, or hey, I want it to be different. Like, I think that's something a lot of artists have a problem with, because they feel like they're being too pushy, or they don't want to sound like a diva, or something like that. But definitely, like, if your engineer cares about not even your music, but if they care about their craft and like how well they do something, they will go back and edit whatever it is that you need edited.
I think that's I want to just step in real quick. Like that's why I think that what y'all got is like really, really special. Like it's very hard to like excuse me, find that comfortability with somebody, because like somebody might, people value different things in music or whatever the case is. They might not like Fly said, they might not see your vision and shit. And I know that you said they should, even if they don't care about your music, they should care about your music. Like, is if they care about your music, the whole thing their ability and their talent plus your talent is gonna make something really, really great. And it also allows you to just like try shit and be comfortable. Like with the last dude that I work with on Car Ride and shit, like I felt so comfortable with him. And so like there was a time like there on Such Is Life, like there's a very big part at the end of that song that he's like, Taylor, you should try and like, you know, make this like kind of like more theatrical, make this like a big singing moment. And I've never done that before. And I wouldn't have done that if I didn't feel comfortable with him like pushing me in that direction and him actually caring. You know what I mean? And it ended up being like a really big part of the song and it's fucking dope as fuck. And I didn't know I can do that shit. So like over anything, like once you find an engineer or find a person that like believes in what you believe in, y'all can have a good time. And there's no like, you're not sitting there second guessing like, hey, does he like this? Or like, you know, whatever. Like, does he believe in me? Like all this other shit, you get all that shit out the way and just create, like, you can really like, y'all can really start cranking out some fire and making some dope music.
That's a great point. A great point, honestly, because it's all about comfortability when you're working with somebody. Because like you said, like you're not going to reach for something that you wouldn't reach for generally if you're not comfortable with working with that person, especially if you're in the same room. You know, it's a little intimidating. So that's especially
off the rip too, because like my process is the majority of the time I like sometimes I like doing weird shit with my voice, and so like and I'm like okay, if I can make this this can sound good by myself, when I take it to an actual engineer, I already have the confidence in myself to where like even if they don't see the vision, I know what it can sound like. You know what I mean? So I already come in with that baseline confidence. But like it's just important, especially like if you like, you know, like Ty the Creator type sounds or whatever, like trying different vocal performances and shit. So maybe you can just laugh with your producer and your engineer and be like, yeah, that probably wasn't it. Let's try something else. And like, and it's just okay. You know, like you can just move on. It's not like, oh, that was really awful. Like you don't want somebody to be judging you while you're trying to make something. Because there's also this false narrative that there are songs that can be made in 5 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. But like the majority of songs, bro, like if you want a really good quality song, that shit take time, like a lot of fucking time. It's just what it is. Like people put out this perception like, oh yeah, bro, you know, I wrote that shit in like 15 minutes, bro. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I recorded that. Like, that took me like 5 minutes, bro. I'm so talented. It's like, okay, sure. Yeah, you probably did. But like, is the quality there? And like, are you doing that consistently? And
a lot of those people be capping too. That's
bro, like a motherfucker, bro.
Yeah,
like
they just say, oh yeah, I did that in a day. And like they were working on it for months. But that's actually one of the 48 Laws of Power. I don't know if y'all ever read that book or heard of that. But one of them is to make everything seem effortless. So like for me in high school, I would always watch interviews of like just rappers like Jay-Z, Kanye, Big Sean, Drake. Like I just was always watching interviews trying to like soak up game and knowledge and stuff. And I still kind of do that to this day, but more on that like active side of trying to do something instead of study. But like the thing is, a lot of them like, and it's kind of the same thing in basketball because I'm a big basketball fan. Like reporters will ask certain questions and then like they'll just be like, oh yeah, you know, I just went to the studio and just, you know, I just caught a vibe. And it's like, bro, that's so vague. But I get it though, because it's like it's putting up this like this aura of mystery, or like, oh, he's just so talented, right? Like it adds on to that, where it's like, nah, like niggas was
like with Lil
crazy.
Wayne doing features in like 15 minutes. They'd be like, oh, he went to the tour bus, bro, and he returned a feature within like 20-30 minutes.
Well, the thing is, if someone else tells that story, if someone else tells that story about that person, then it's usually credible. But if they're saying it about themselves, then it's like, but
but no, I'm just saying how
really
that
like
created.
that.
But that's how.
Like
but I'm just saying that's how like people was like, damn, like Lil Wayne is like just great because people started telling those stories. And stuff,
right.
And then people hear that in an interview like I did, and they think they could do it, so they go and try, and it ain't gonna happen. But
bro,
one verse, one hearse, and all that shit. Yeah,
bro, I think it's so funny. I'm happy you brought that up, bro. I'll never forget this shit, bro. Back when we was in college and shit, and we was working on like Daydreamers and all that, all the old shit we was working on, right? I would show people in college, and we weren't that good yet, so they would laugh, right? And that was okay. But it was funny because like, we kept working on our shit. We got better. And there was this dude that I went to school with. He was like, we have a group chat, big group chat or whatever. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the studio. And I asked him, I was like, have you practiced your verse? Do you have everything done? Do you know what doubles you're gonna do? Do you know how you're gonna like, do you know what ad-libs you're gonna do? All these type of things. He's like, bro, I ain't worry about that shit. I ain't worry about that shit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He gets to the studio, bro. He in there with like a bunch of his homies and shit. And they paid for like professional studio time. Mm-hmm. This nigga said he went in there and left and said, I never want to rap ever again. He's like, I never want to rap ever again. I was like, bro. And like, it's funny because these niggas like would like laugh at me and laugh at the art that me and my friends were making. And it's like, bro, you have no idea what it actually takes to be an artist and be good. Like, you have no fucking clue. You can just go in there and mumble some shit and talk about drugs and shit. And shit's gonna be fire. Like, no. Like, this shit is a fucking process. Like, all through and through.
It is, dude. And honestly, to be an artist, it's very emotionally taxing. Because if you're gonna talk about something real, like, you're reliving these experiences in your head and in your heart. You know what I mean? So it's not easy to put yourself back in that position of like that vulnerability or whatever it seems to be.
Well, that's why most of them don't. They just talk about shit that they never did.
Right.
Or I would say at least
Facts.
like in a lot of rap music or people that are trying to come up. And like you alluded to this earlier, Trey, where you were like, oh, you've been doing music since you were a kid, like kind of before it was a pop culture thing, or at least for you, like you weren't necessarily exposed to it. Like, oh, I'm gonna be a rapper so I could be the popular kid in high school. It's like, well, I was already playing instruments before I was in band before anybody thought this was cool. But so yeah, like in rap, I was talking about this with Brock when we went to the lake. Brock is one of Steve Nyse's like really good friends. We were like, and he was telling me about this country artist that is like from an hour away from Carbondale, Illinois, Southern Illinois. And he just put out like one song and he moved to Nashville and like got signed to a record label. And he's doing really well for himself right now. But we were talking about the barrier to entry for creating music in rap versus other genres. Mm-hmm. And like even the guy that made that country song, right? Like he played the guitar on his song. And like he's been singing for years, almost like his whole life, like 10 years basically. And he's only like 23, but basically like with rap, like a lot of people are just in college in their dorm room and then like they're just smoking or something and they just freestyling with their friends and they're like, oh yeah, like I'm about to be a rapper now, or like let me go make some music and stuff, and then they just put it on SoundCloud. They send the SoundCloud link to the people and nobody click on it because it's just all you need is your phone, an internet connection, and like you don't even need a DAW. Like you don't really like need anything. You can literally just people record off their voice memos on iPhone and you could throw it on whatever beat. Then you just download a beat off of YouTube versus like the country guy that I was talking about, right? Like he had to learn how to play guitar, which is already a skill in and of itself. So it's like you can't, and I mean traditionally, right? Like as a country artist, you can't just become one like overnight, quote unquote, because I don't know any country artist or like singer that doesn't know how to play guitar. And I feel like if you were one and you were around a bunch of others and you're like, oh no, I don't know how to play guitar, like I just started this yesterday, they gonna look at you weird. Versus like in rap or hip hop, like it's not the same thing. I guess the equivalent used to be like being able to write really well, because right, like rap is supposed to be rhythm and poetry. So like people were really good at poetry in and of itself, and that was kind of a skill that would be developed over time. But like I feel like that's completely gone out the window, because now people just making songs like in one day, and they just started rapping yesterday, it blew up on TikTok, and then they like, oh yeah, I'm an artist now. It's like interesting.
Yeah, but that shit that's just not sustainable though. You know.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
What's that sample on Another Was the Same? real music gonna last. Although the bullshit is here today and gone tomorrow.
Gone tomorrow.
Real shit. That's real shit, bro. Like once you perfect your sound, like that's what's most important is perfecting your sound. Then you know you really got something. You a real artist. But if you just make one fucking video on TikTok, you're just gonna be chasing the next moment, the next banger, and it's like, bro, this isn't really like music. Like I can't say that. It's music. Everything is music, but it's just not gonna continue to hit at the same clip every single time.